Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of On the Dance Floor. My name is Ty Nelson, your host, and today I am joined by Kayla Kaiser, otherwise known as KK. She is the foodie here on The Valiant Lady during this contract, and we're about to get started with a new episode. This one's going to be interesting. Kayla does not consider herself really a dancer, but she is an artist and a great person to talk to, so welcome, Kayla. What's up, girl?
What's up?
Who are you? What is your like go-to phrase if you're introducing yourself to a new person?
Oh, I mean, that's tricky because on the ship, I'm constantly introducing myself to people. I'm like, what's up? I'm KK the foodie. But I guess in real life, I guess I'm just Kayla, very free-spirited person that is constantly doing random and new things.
And what is the foodie for people who don't know what that means?
So here on Virgin Voyages, I host food and drink related events, as well as just a general entertainment host here on the ship.
What's your first memory of dancing, at least?
Oh, goodness. My first memory, like a lot of people, I did ballet probably when I was like 3 or something like that.
Okay.
And I just remember really hating leotards. Yeah.
Okay.
I just remember putting on that like really tiny pink leotard and being like, this is ass, and not vibing with it.
So, okay, if you started in ballet, what other styles did you learn as you grew up?
I did tap dancing for a year, and I very much remember I had these little Hello Kitty things on my tap dance shoes. I did some jazz later on, and then I did a lot of musical theater as a kid.
Okay.
So I did do some, I guess, kind of dancing for that, but I just didn't really consider it like a lot of dance. It was more like singing and acting.
Okay, because I was going to say, these sound like you're a dancer. You know
No,
what I mean?
I'm not. This was many years ago.
Is there anything that you've kept up with, whether it be tap or jazz or any of the ballet, or is it just you kind of like...
No.
No.
When I was younger, I really loved acting and like had my heart set on that. And then my family was like, you're never going to be an actor. So I kind of just moved on from it.
Okay.
And then...
We love supportive parents.
Yeah. And then I became a swimmer. I was a swimmer for 13 years of my life.
Okay.
And taught swimming, swam competitively. But I've never really had a set thing. Like, I've never had a set career path. Like, even what I do now, if you asked me a year ago, I would have been like, you're joking.
Okay.
So...
just kind of a go with the flow.
Very go with the flow. And now that I have this job, I've let go of any and all expectations I have for my life.
Even though you're go with the flow, do you have a plan? Like, are you hoping to come back here? Do you have something lined up?
I would be happy to come back.
Okay.
100%.
Still in the
I'm
foodie
not,
role?
Yeah, I'm the foodie. I love being the foodie. And I love being an entertainment host as well. After my contract ends, I really want to travel some more.
Okay.
And continue to, like, just discover new things and new cultures and people. I am really passionate about music.
Okay.
I've been trying to teach myself the guitar, and it's unsuccessful, but I've been trying to. I have a guitar at home.
Okay. Have you tried on the ship? Because we have a few guitarists.
No. I took a singing lesson on the ship, actually, just for fun.
Okay, how was that?
It was really fun. Because it's like a secret thing that I'm passionate about, but I don't really tell anyone about.
Okay.
So
is the goal to marry the two, like be a guitar player and a singer?
No.
No. What's something that you really grew up with that you loved and that you draw inspiration from in your day-to-day life, if you will?
So growing up, there's 2 things that influenced me a lot. One would be travel, because my mom is from Ethiopia.
Oh, work.
So growing up, most of my family is not from the United States. And even if they're not in Ethiopia, they're in like another country. So I just grew up traveling quite a bit. Like, I went on like my first airplane when I was like 3 to Canada. The whole foodie aspect, I grew up with food being a big part of my life. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob or anything, but I could watch the Food Network.
Oh, okay.
And someone that really inspired me growing up was a man called Anthony Bourdain, who had this TV show called Parts Unknown.
Yep.
He would travel to different places, talk about like food and history, and I would watch that with my mom a lot, and that just was low key, that would be like a dream job, would be to have like a show and like talk about like food and history and culture. And, like,
Well, I mean, this could be your first, branch into that. You start doing some vlogging.
yeah,
Some.
my friends have been like, you need to start vlogging your life because it's very interesting to them.
Yeah.
And I want to, but I just haven't been like into it enough to start. But I think I probably will.
I would say unsolicited advice, things you didn't ask for. But while you're here on the ship, because I've done this for almost 5 years, and like this is your first contract, right? Yeah. And you're kind of younger, which is nice because you have that time to grow while you're on here. If you continue to come back, bring stuff like this, like bring microphones, bring a setup, and just like record little things. Don't burn yourself out with it because it can get hard, especially. And this is kind of advice for anybody who wants to start doing silly projects or just, film themselves. Don't think of it as like, I gotta get this out there, and don't do it because you're expecting like super big results. But consistency in today's world is like, the quantity sometimes is better than just like overall quality. So don't feel like you have to be a perfectionist with what you produce. Like, just produce what makes you happy, produce what's fun, and then as you get bigger and bigger with it, and this is coming from someone who's not even a big person, but I understand the aspect of it, once you get bigger, then you can be like, oh, I remember I had this passion project, I want to do that now. And don't be afraid to just like do, because I think you would be great. I do think you would be great for something like that, or even just like here's what I'm doing today. And you have a great personality and a bubbly like spirit in the way that you invite people in, so just consider it. I think that'll be fun for you.
I want to. Yeah, with the whole like perfectionist mindset is like, I've recorded vlogs before. I tried to do cooking vlogs when I was in college, and like just videos of me cooking, because I would host dinner parties for my friends, and I would just hate every single one of them. Like I would spend an hour just recording myself, and then I'd look back on it and be like, this is horrible, and never post them. And it's definitely just a perfectionist thing. I'm sure they were fine.
Have you looked at them since?
No.
Every time I look at an old video, I'm like, oh, that was actually pretty cool.
Interesting.
Like, so maybe give it a shot, look back and be like, oh, this is actually cute. Because we are our own worst critic, and especially in the moment. Like, but when you get older and you look back at it, you're like, that was actually pretty cool. Like, for me, with my dancing, I look at old dance footage and I'm like, I was really dancing. And you might be like, oh, this vlog is adorable. Like, you might, because especially as you get away from that moment, you kind of remember and you love that memory and you love yourself more in that moment. So try to check it out like soon and be like, oh, this is actually cute. And it's not like you have to re-release it or anything, but you could maybe find inspiration. You might release it. I think you maybe should. We'll see. Who has given you that like advice you've listened to your whole life, and not so much like what's inspired you? Because we're talking a little bit about both, but like, is there a mentor in your life? I know you mentioned Anthony Bourdain as someone you watch, but is there someone in your life, like maybe a family member who helped you learn how to cook, or someone that you really were inspired by and you took that advice from them?
I would say I'm kind of the black sheep in my family, where everything that I've done is like so different from anyone in my family. But someone that I do and have always looked up to is my mom. Like, I have a very close relationship with her.
Cute.
And she is the person that taught me how to cook, and is also very just supportive of what I do for the most part.
What is she not supportive of?
A lot of things that I do. Like, that's what I was going to say. My mom being from a third world country, it's just very conservative.
Yeah.
I'm the first person in my family to have any tattoos.
Oh.
But I'm also the first person to have a bachelor's degree, so it's like up and down. But everything that I do is pretty unconventional to them, but they're just happy that I don't ask them for money. So it's a win-win.
Hell yeah, okay.
But I would say, I just have to go with my mom, I guess. I mean, she left her country when she was 20 and didn't speak a lick of English, and just moseyed on down to California.
Wow. And
just started a whole new life, and now she's very successful, and she lives and does what makes her happy, and she encourages me to do the same. So that's a big motivator. We're both people that kind of live for pleasure, which like sounds like a bad thing, but it's not. Yeah. She does what makes her happy as a person, and it shows, and that's just how I want to be. It's really all you can ask for. Yeah. I mean, we only have the one short life that we live, so
I think it's a great idea to live it with pleasure and live to do what you want and make you happy.
Exactly.
Kind of goes with what the whole theme is, I guess you could say. Is there any like motto that she's ever said that that stuck with you?
I'm like, a motto.
Yeah. She's like, hey, don't pluck your chickens unless it's a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like
No, I've never heard that in my life.
There's no motto like that. I just made that up.
Okay. Well, I actually have a tattoo, a little quote.
Oh.
That's my mom's favorite quote. And it's amor fati in Latin, and it means to love your fate. To love one's fate, whatever your fate may be. So I guess that could be a motto, because it's her favorite quote. And
that's dope. Love your fate. Okay.
yeah, so it's a Latin quote, and it just means to love one's fate and accept whatever happens in your life, to just love it and fully embrace it, essentially.
Word.
Because you can't really control it.
I love that. A little backstory in this episode. KK originally sent me something, and I was like, okay, cool, so what should we do? She's like, I'm thinking hip-hop, contemporary, and this morning, when we had breakfast to kind of like talk it over, she was like, yeah, I don't know what those are. I don't really, I'm not really in the styles. And I was like, oh. She was like, I just named 2 styles that I know. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I feel like it's a popular style,
right?
Like a hip-hop, contemporary. To me, when I think of dancing, I feel like it's just people moving their bodies to like however they connect to the music.
This is true.
And so I don't really know. I learned what crump is today, and that was a transformational experience.
So we should definitely crump.
We might crump at each other for the dance. We'll see. A little crump off, if you will. I don't think I would win. It's my only issue, and I'm very competitive.
Oh, okay. Well, we're definitely not going to battle each other in the dance. This is a collaboration, okay?
Yes. A collaborative crump.
I think you'd win.
I don't think so. You're just being nice.
No, you have so much spunk.
Me.
You believe in yourself, I think.
My spunk only gets me so far.
All right, that's fair
10th
enough.
place in Mario Kart. Won't forget it.
Well, okay. So what is your song choice? Has it changed from what we were thinking, or do you want to still stick with that?
I think I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
My song choice is Cry For Me by The Weeknd.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I chose this song for a couple of reasons. One, because when I first heard the song itself, I just thought it would be a good song to dance to.
Mm-hmm.
While I don't have much professional dance experience, I feel like I can envision things in my head when I listen to music. Like, that's how I've always been as a person. And also seeing other people dance in, like, videos and stuff, I love watching those. And I just was like, I could totally see this being, like, a dance that, like, other dancers would dance to.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's me. And I think it'll be a mix of all things. And I also love The Weeknd. I grew up listening to The Weeknd when I was, like, 12. Fun fact, he's Ethiopian.
Oh.
So that was, like,
look at that.
Really cool for me to hear, like, another famous Ethiopian person that's an artist.
Another famous. You're the first famous.
I'm the first one.
That's right.
Yeah, of course. And so I've always loved his music. It's, like, kind of like a broody, like, hopeless romantic kind of music.
Mm-hmm. I love The Weeknd.
Yeah.
I really do. Have you ever been to the Universal experience?
No, I've never been to Universal.
Well, I guess that was more maybe in California, but I think possibly they could have done it in Florida. I don't know. But he had his own maze, like a haunted thing. I'll be honest, it wasn't great because, I mean, you don't really equate, I don't think, The Weeknd to like scary.
No.
Some of his videos are very interesting concepts, but I loved it because his music's playing the whole time. So people are like jumping out trying to scare you, and I'm just like,
That's insane. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I saw The Weeknd perform, though, when I was 14, and I cried. It was wonderful, and his voice was so much better live than it was over, like, Spotify. I was just, like, so moved by it. But, yeah, love The Weeknd, so I'm very happy to be doing this to one of his songs.
What's a specific goal besides learning the guitar and maybe taking a singing lesson? What's something that...
Those are not goals.
Okay,
at
work.
all.
Work. What's the goal?
I would say, honestly, I think actually that all has to tie into a general goal that I have for myself, was just to push myself in areas that I'm not confident in.
Work.
So, like, things that I'm confident in would be, public speaking, traveling to random places, hosting. Those things I'm very confident in. But things that I'm not confident in is, I think, just applying myself to stuff that inspires me, but I haven't taken risks to be a part of it.
Okay, yeah. Work. I mean, you're not to like harp on it, but you are younger, and it's nicer because you have the chance now. If you already have that mindset now, you're gonna have like such a rich and full life because you get to like enjoy things, and putting yourself out there is hard, as we all know, but I think it's rewarding. What would you say is like the first thing you're looking forward to that you think is gonna test your limits? What's something if you could go do right now that would challenge you? What would that be?
What we're about to do is top of the list.
Okay,
We're
sick.
creating a dance out of nothing, and I am someone that is not confident in my dancing skills, and being on the ship surrounded by very, very talented dancers has been very inspiring for me to want to learn.
Well, what's nice about this project is it really is just about fun. It's to inspire people who listen, and I think you've done a great job with that, with like the words you've said and the stories you've given. I think you're gonna do great because what's nice about this is the dance doesn't have to be super technical. It doesn't have to be really like a hard thing. It's just to showcase your personality, which I believe you're gonna have a great like output of your personality in the dance. It's all about having fun.
We'll see how it goes.
I think it's going to be great, and I believe in that. I really do believe in that. I believe in you. I think we're going to have a good time.
If you say so. I think we'll have fun. I'm already having fun, so
Okay, work.
I'm excited for it.
Okay. Well, with that means it's time to actually get into it.
Shoot, already?
Yeah. Are you excited? You ready?
Yes, so much.
Oh, where can people find you, and what's next for you? That's the real question we need to ask before we just wrap everything up.
Well, maybe, you never know, I might start making vlogs, we'll see.
Okay.
But my Instagram handle is Kayla, Kayla, Bella, BELLA, K_.
Okay, Bella, middle name?
Isabella is my middle name.
Isabella. Okay, cute. And what's like your go-to? You just on Instagram? You on anything?
I have a TikTok, but I don't know what the username is. I haven't used TikTok in a very long time.
That's okay.
I think it's like Kayla something 111 1111. It's like, look, 1111 was my first tattoo. It's numerology. We love
numerology.
But it's probably Kayla 1111, and you might see a thirst trap when I was like 18 on there. So haven't been on TikTok in a long time.
Damn, that's a while since 18.
Yes.
That should be where you do your vlogs.
Oh God.
Bury the thirst trap.
Yeah, bury the thirst traps.
Start putting your vlogs on there.
Everyone thinks they're the shit when they're a freshman in college.
You're still the shit. Own it. All right. Well, now that we know where you can find KK, once again, huge thank you to you. Thanks for being our second person on the podcast. Booyah.
Thanks for having me, Ty.
As always, thank you for joining us, people. We appreciate you listening, watching, whatever form you're seeing this in. And hopefully one day we'll see you out on the dance floor. See you next time. Beautiful. Yay! There she is.